All right. 3, 2, 1. This is J Essence here, and yes, this is a familiar face.
Hello.
Because this is Mama J, and what we're doing today is I always try to give a little bit of information. So we're going to focus this conversation. First of all, I already know. Go ahead and wave. Everybody say hello.
Hello, 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 hello.
Yes, this is my mama, and she is here in Rwanda with me. And how long have you been here?
I've been here since June the 23rd.
Okay, so we set up almost like a 3-month?
Yes.
3-month visit. And so a couple of things that we wanted to do is really just set you up for Rwanda.
Yes.
Never knowing what's going to happen in the future or anything else, we made some really dedicated plans to kind of get you adjusted. Now, you're going to go ahead and pop me on my hand.
No, not today.
But you know, because I feel like the elders need a little bit of help, you know, but I can't say you elderly, but you do get discounts at Denny's, right? Okay.
You're right.
Okay, okay. So we're going to go through and talk just a little bit.
Right.
And you can give information about the different kind of things we had to do to get you set up to live in Rwanda.
All right.
And right now, you could stay in Rwanda independent of me.
Yes, I can, with one stipulation, but we'll talk about that.
Oh, okay. I want to know what the stipulation is love, right?
No, that is not the stipulation because you have to follow rules in Rwanda. The stipulation is because we made arrangements for a 10-year visa that I'm not a citizen of Rwanda. So on that visa, I have to leave the country at least every 6 months. Now that means just crossing the border into either Uganda, Tanzania, or just going on a weekend trip. But you must leave the country at least once every 6 months to keep that visa valid.
Okay.
So it works out for us so that I can go back to the States and visit and come back and visit and go back and visit and become
and run the streets.
Transient expand.
Run the streets, hot to trot. I'll see you. You be down in South Africa doing something. Don't know where you are. Let's start at the beginning.
All right.
In order to get you set up, what kind of happened first? What were some of the first steps?
Now let me remember, because that's back to June the 23rd. But I think the first order of business was to try to put in place plans for the visa.
Okay.
That was the first thing, and that was managed online. All of the pictures and the information that you needed to see and tell them what your status was as a retiree was done online. It took about 3 weeks for that to get a final approval.
Okay.
But before that, the very first step was to try to be able to transact in money.
Okay.
So my first step in Rwanda with one of your counselors from my Cousin Connection was to actually go to the MTN building.
Yes.
And set up a money account, which here in Rwanda is referred to as the Momma.
Okay.
And of course I did not know if I had the right phone or the right, I didn't know anything. So thanks to the counselor, we managed to go there. One of the things that I've learned in Rwanda, they are very knowledgeable and have placed into practice a lot of high tech.
Yes.
They really have, but sometimes, as with anything, something happens with the high tech and it will shut things down.
Okay.
So the one trait you must learn in Rwanda is patience.
Child.
Beyond patience, because anything that you have on a time frame is not going to work on that time frame. But anyway, we managed. The momos were down in some areas because they were fumigating. You have to,
because this was also right before lockdown.
Right
Let's
before
put that to
lockdown.
them. That's when the numbers of COVID were getting high. It was before lockdown.
And people were really, I won't say panicking, but people were doing a lot of transacting of business. And in Rwanda, the Momo is the way. Not necessarily debit cards or credit cards. They'll take them. But you can do things immediately, anywhere from 50 cents to $50 with the Momo. We got the Momo account set up.
And bank account.
Well, I'm going there.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I wanted to say that I have a smartphone. And the interesting thing was they added a chip to the smartphone but I only just set the default for whether I'm working with my U.S. line or whether I'm working with my Rwandan line. So there I was able to get a Rwandan telephone number, which is the key to success to everything here. Once you get a Rwandan phone number, that's how they manage to keep up with you with your Momma money. And not only that, when you go get your COVID test, all of those things. Now the second trip excursion that day was to go to the bank. I thought I was going to panic because I saw people lined up out under a revival tent to get ready to go in to do banking business. Fortunately, I had my cousin's connection counselor, and she managed to maneuver us into the bank and get what we needed. And what we needed there was 2 bank accounts.
Yep.
One bank account in Kigali money,
Rwandan
money.
There you go.
And the second bank account in U.S. money. The only problem I had that day was I did not have any U.S. money on me
to open the account.
Mm-hmm. So I had to go to Western Union. Mm-hmm. I got $100, but it cost me like $136 to actually deposit money into a Kigali U.S. account. So in the future, I can transfer money from my U.S. account to my Kigali U.S. account with no fees or you don't have to do all that. So that's good. And then I can transfer from the Kigali account U.S. to my Rwandan account. But I don't have it here, a debit card for the Bank of Kigali, and that was all set up. So we managed to get that done in a day's time. So those were 2 critical things just so that you can operate here in the country financially. So that was the main thing.
So we got all of that set up, and then lockdown did happen.
Lockdown did happen, and truthfully, lockdown was not what you imagined it to be. The living accommodations here, and I call it, I don't know if it's correct or not, the compound. You're really, in America, as we used to say in camping, you're self-contained. Everything you need is here.
Yep.
Anything that is needed, a real need, can be delivered. The groceries, water, gas for your propane. Yep. If your electricity is running low, you can get on your Momma and order more electricity. Everything is just convenient, and we can stay home. I think that it didn't scare me, but Rwanda has rules about COVID. If you're caught without your mask, if you're caught standing too close together, the police will take you to the stadium.
Yes.
And at the stadium, and I'm not exaggerating, you can see this on TV, they put you on television. You stay in the stadium all night with nothing. You sleep in a chair, you have no blanket, you have nothing. And you have to go on television with your hands with the cargo ties and apologize for breaking the rules of Rwanda. And then you have to be there all night long like a concentration camp with the sound of the rules of COVID broadcast over this loudspeaker system in every language. So that does not sound good to me. And the fact that this country has consequences for you breaking the rules makes me that much more aware of and grateful that they are being cautious and proactive about COVID. I feel very safe. Very safe.
Yes. Because I think there's a lot of rumors out there, and number one, being here is a choice. But it's not the I would say dire. For some people, we want to be in protective places, and it just shows that they are that serious about protecting their people that they're putting these restrictions in place.
Okay.
But I want to go on because even during lockdown, we were able to apply for your visa.
Yes, we were able to apply for the visa and received a message back via a text message that as soon as lockdown is over, you can come by and pick up your visa.
Yep, so everything was done online. Everything happened, great communication, to the point that once lockdown was released, we got the visa. But before we got the visa, I want to break down something else that was really important for me to do. I don't know if I had to take you dragging hand and foot, but you went to the doctor.
I went to the doctor. My daughters rationale was we want to identify a doctor here in Kigali for you, Mama, so that if anything does come up, you will have a doctor on record and he knows of you and has all of your medications. So although I thought it was frivolous, she did it. But being the person that I am, if I have to go to the doctor, I'm going to give him some complaints. So she made the appointment for the doctor visit. Let me tell you, the clinics were immaculately clean, spotless, not even a piece of paper or a magazine or a pen sitting around. Everything was effortless. The only problem I had was understanding, but I had my counselor with me. We went in, we sat, the doctor was running a little late, but he got there in plenty of time and was very courteous, spoke English. We were able to communicate very well. I let him know that currently I'm fine, but I'm having aches and pains, my knees, my ankles, and especially in my shoulders. I explained to him in America I take cortisone shots in my shoulders. And he said, well, we don't like to give cortisone shots, but we can. But I have some medicine that you can take here along with you do hot and cold treatment. So we understood, and he prescribed me some gel. Booyah, my old people joint gel. You know, I just thought, you know, joints for old people is a whole different thing than joints for young people. This is my joint gel.
Joint gel. Joint gel.
And these were my pills, which are actually muscle relaxants and analgesics. So those were two things that he gave me. I was a little bit short on one of my prescriptions from America for blood pressure. So he gave me a prescription for that to give me enough to make sure I make it through till September.
And I want to say that was one of the things that's important. I wanted to at least align what prescription she currently takes in America to find the equivalent of the prescription here, so we wouldn't have that lapse. We always can keep the medication. I'm going to ask a personal question.
Yes.
For your cortisone shots in America, how much do you normally pay?
I don't know.
Okay, because you have the
Because I have Medicare and the supplemental insurance.
But how much did you pay for your doctor's visit?
Let me kind of back up a little bit. The hardest thing for me to check in was no insurance. I was like, oh my God. So in my mind, I'm calculating all of my credit cards, my debit card. Do I have to play the sister girl and put some on this card and some on that card? I don't know what's going on here because nobody's talking to you. So once I spoke with the doctor, and he gave me the prescriptions. The other thing he did, because I have a history of gout, he had blood tests run to make sure that my gout was not flaring up. Okay. Gave me a uric acid test, and he also ran what was called a CRV to see if I was inflamed and the amount of inflammation my body was experiencing. So I got to see the doctor. I got 3 prescriptions. And I got 2 blood tests run, and the results were ready in 40 minutes.
How much?
$25.
25 uninsured.
Uninsured.
Uninsured. $25.
Yes.
For the whole thing.
For the whole visit.
The whole visit.
The whole visit. The prescriptions ran.
This one says
$6 and $3, I think. 3 Rwanda francs, yes.
Yes, so let's go. That's $6 for
less than 10.
The joint gel.
Yes.
And then for the pills was $3.50?
Yeah, I think so.
So that's $3.50.
$10 for a 10-day supply.
For a 10-day supply. Okay. So
Okay.
all of that was done. And you got some good news.
I got some good news with the blood results. I'm not positive. My uric acid is in good control. That's one good news. The second good news was I'm not really inflamed. The third good news is I have lost 13 pounds while being here in Rwanda, and I haven't done a thing, not one push-up, not one jumping jack. So I don't know. I don't know. I thought sure that I was going to be out of balance because of the potatoes, rice, pasta, tomato-based things.
And we eat.
Yeah, but I think my My habit, my weakness for Krispy Kreme donuts and their cousins has probably been curtailed here a little bit.
Yep.
And so therefore, yeah,
And I would say,
I've lost 13
I'm going to
pounds.
say quality of food.
Yeah.
Quality of
Sure.
food. The quality of food. So we do all of that. So we went to the doctor.
We went to the doctor, got that done, and then we went to a place that I was not looking forward to, and to the immigration office. Now,
And we went to immigration to
actually pick up or get your passport stamped with your visa. So, as with any country, we can always question systems and how they do things. But again, patience prevailed. And I went with my counselor,
Yep.
and she's more patient than I ever planned to be. So the only problem I really had was I don't think that the Rwandans could read my name. Rosalind, my name is Rosalind Luster Washington, and I think the Z and the Rosalind threw them off,
Yep.
and then of course the hyphenated name threw them off. So I'm sitting there, and I keep seeing this lady looking at me strange, and she's saying, Denise, Denise, and I'm like, who the hell is she talking to? Denise, and I'm like, oh, that may be me. So we do have. You want to show my
Nope, because of personal information on there. But so let's go.
We
from
can flash it,
We're gonna flash it.
I'm very proud of my.
She's very proud of this visa. So 1, 2, 3, she's got it. But it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. I'm so proud. I'm so proud. And it is 10 years.
Yeah. So that's the only stipulation, is that I have to cross the border somewhere.
Yeah, some borders, sometime.
Somewhere, at least once every 6 months. They were adamant about that. Yeah.
Yep. And they did say that if you even extend it over a day.
If you stay here 6 months and 1 day, you may be able to leave the country. But coming back in may be a problem because your visa may be voided.
And then you would just have to pay the tourist visa again and start over the process.
Again, yeah.
So you do have to really abide by those rules if you go for the V12 visa.
Yeah.
So
we did that, and then got in and did all that, the doctor and the visa, in about a half a day. Came back in, ate lunch with the chef, and we had a lovely lunch. And then went back out and did a little grocery shopping. So I'm pooped.
You pooped?
I'm pooped. This is it. You're interrupting my nap time now.
Well, okay, I'm going to go ahead. I'll shut this down. But I did want to come in first because I don't think that we really have a detailed settling in piece until you get to My Cousin Connection. But kind of just walking it through and how I want to say easy. Like, it's easy to know the steps.
Yes.
And the patience it takes just to get through them.
Yes.
But it's not turmoil, it's not headache, it's not a big frustration. It's pretty much cut and dry on what you're supposed to do.
The rules are there and the system is there. The system sometimes doesn't work the way we think it should work in America, like going to the bank. The 3 things that I tell everyone that I have had to adjust since I've been here, first of all, is my level of patience.
Okay.
Second of all is an element of trust. When you have to go take the taxi drivers and the Yegos or the motorbikes that I haven't experienced yet.
She's not getting on the motorbike.
But you have to trust that they know where they're going, and there's a level of confidence in you getting it done. Same thing with my counselor. I mean, you just have to really. And then my third thing, very difficult for me as an African American woman, is relinquishing control.
Baby. Still.
You know, I let my counsel. I gave my cousin connections counselor my purse, my passport, my phone, my birth certificate. Just here, you take it and find it whenever they ask for it, because there's a language barrier. Even if people speak English, the accent and the dialect is very, very difficult to understand. So that relinquishing control for me was a big one. So those 3 things are my Rwandan learning lessons.
Learning lessons.
Extending my level of patience, trusting unfamiliarity.
I like that one. Okay.
And relinquishing control of a situation.
You trust me?
I don't know, it was shaky.
Oh, come on now.
I can question you now. Come on, come on, come on.
All right, so for everyone, like I said, this one was short and sweet, but thank you, Mama, for coming on.
Yes.
Because she doesn't like to do this. But I did want to go ahead and just kind of break down in this kind of piece where we're getting the legalities and how to move, the settling piece, if you really want to just make sure that you're settled and set up. And I'm going to say this one piece real quick, especially for those who are trying to do big transactions. If you're trying to secure housing, you need the bank account, especially in USD, so you're able to transfer from your USD account to this USD account, because sometimes it won't transfer straight into a Rwandan francs account. There's a whole bunch of different other little methods, but in order to just be efficient, and the one thing that happens now is that you're able to transfer money. Even if you leave and you know that you're coming, you can just put money into account so you already have it here once you come here, and it's just kind of keeping that process going. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And thank you. Thank you so
Bye-bye
much.
now.
Bye-bye.